Today's video is proudly sponsored by Aura. Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Welcome ladies and gentlemen to one of our 2 weekly news videos, and we have a lot of news to go over. Big Pharma paid in excess, ladies and gentlemen, of $690 million. New data from the National Institute of Health reveals the agency and its scientists collected $710 million in royalties during the health crisis. Why? That is the question, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to find out the answer, or at least from my perspective, take a look at yesterday's video that I put out. It's about 10 minutes long or so, but it goes through this entire thing. I just thought that I'd bring this up for those of you that may have missed it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, I really want to talk for about a minute or two about today's sponsor, which is Aura. Over the many years that I've been doing YouTube, I've been solicited by dozens, if not close to 100 VPN companies asking me to promote their VPN. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I never thought that I needed a VPN. My credit is good. No one's using my credit cards because I check my stuff manually every once in a while. So I've never agreed to promote it because, hey, if I don't need it, then someone else probably doesn't need it either. Well, I still stand by that. But with Aura, this is a game changer. Not only does Aura provide you with a VPN, but they check everything so that you don't have to. They actually check your name in the dark web to make sure that someone hasn't stolen your identity and is using it in the dark web. Who would have ever thought of that? It can happen to anyone. Recently, the United Healthcare CEO said maybe a third of all U.S. citizens have been affected by recent hacks. And AT&T has admitted to a massive data breach that affected 73 million customers. The fact of the matter is that I've been using Aura for a while now, and when my free trial is over, I am definitely going to upgrade to the family plan because the value is definitely there. And I personally think that in the times that we're living in, especially with AI, that we have to protect ourselves and that of our children's identities as well. So ladies and gentlemen, there is a link on the description of this video and on a pinned comment. Go check it out. It's 100% free. And if you don't like it for whatever reason, then don't worry about it. You can discontinue very easily. From my understanding, like almost 90% of the people that actually do the free trial want to go ahead and do the actual plan afterwards because they get so much out of it. I could sit here for the next half hour and tell you all of the awesome things that you can get from Aura, but go check it out for yourselves at the very minimum. Other than that, thank you very much, Aura, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the video. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I will leave the link to all of these stories and articles on a pinned comment so that you can revisit them if you'd like. I'm not going to talk too much about this one because if I do, I'll probably get on a rant that'll last a while. But the title of this says, Failed Climate Predictions. Entire nations would be wiped off the face of the earth by the year 2000. I thought we were a few years past the year 2000, but let's see what that prediction had to say. And this is from an article that appeared on a newspaper on the 29th of June, 1989. So that's what, about roughly 29 years ago. The UN predicts disaster if global warming is not checked. A senior UN environmental official says entire nations could be wiped off the face of the earth by rising sea levels if the global warming trend is not reversed by the year 2000. Well, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. This global warming trend is over because here we are 24 years past the year 2000 and no nations have been wiped off the face of the earth unless they get wiped off the face of the earth by nuclear warheads from World War III that is upon us. And things all over our nation are getting worse. It really is. My wife and I last week went to take our dogs to the groomer, right? Actually, we did a little thing where we can give them a bath ourselves, and then we get to use their stations, give them a bath, and then the groomers will come and do their nails and all that kind of stuff, cut their nails. But anyways, on our way there, we had the opportunity to witness an elderly gentleman take down his drawers and start urinating on a light pole. So things are starting to get worse everywhere. First time in my entire life that I've seen something like that. And when they say that it's looking like a Great Depression, ladies and gentlemen, we are already entered into a Great Depression. It's just that it's being covered up with plastic. During the real Great Depression back in 1929, you would see pictures, or 1930s, you would see pictures of men standing in lines that were really, really, really long just to get some soup and bread. Well, you still see those lines today. You just don't know that they're being covered up in plastic, i.e. plastic cards that are being provided to the people instead of just soup and bread like they were in the past. During the Great Depression, they were called Hoovervilles, but today's shanty towns are called Bidenvilles. Well, that's not something very good to be remembered about, but facts are facts. And when you think about it, it's very, very sad because this is going to be a lost generation. To those at the bottom of America's economic pyramid, it feels like the economy has already collapsed, and it has. When you can't afford to put a roof over your head and you barely have enough food to eat, nothing else really matters. Go ask homeless people if they care about climate change. During the Great Depression of the 1930s, millions of homeless Americans created large shanty towns known as Hoovervilles all over America. Unfortunately, we are witnessing the same thing today. Our homeless population is rapidly exploding, and those who have nowhere to live are creating shelters for themselves out of wood, cardboard boxes, tents, tarps, construction material, and whatever else they can find. In some cases, very large shantytown communities are being established, and they are primarily populated by our young adults. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, but while our young adults are living in these shanty towns, 20% of all of the hotels in New York City are being occupied by, I'm going to let you guess who they're being occupied by. Well, this is breaking news. Very nice of the ruling class to be already investing millions of dollars on another juicy juice, getting it ready just for the right time. But what are they investing all of this money for, ladies and gentlemen? Is there another boogeyman coming around the corner? Brace yourselves and stay inside your homes. Put on your masks and don't breathe. A third person tests positive for bird flu. I have no idea how bad or contagious this thing is, but how can we even trust the authorities that were in charge during the last health crisis, ladies and gentlemen? What do I have to say? Get prepared, stay prepared. That way you can use your no muscle in case this is another boogeyman like it was before. In my opinion, that is, this is all opinionated subject, ladies and gentlemen. A third person, this one was another dairy farm worker in Michigan, has tested positive for the bird thing. But this time there's a new symptom setting the control freaks on edge. This person developed respiratory symptoms such as a cough and a sore throat along with eye irritation. Remember, YouTube, that I'm only reading an article. I'm not giving any kind of advice, medical advice or anything like that. I'm not a medical professional. The bird flu juicy juices are authorized and warehoused already as the CDC demands human surveillance. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the closer that we get to November, if you know what I mean, the closer that we're going to get to them trying to do the same thing they did last time. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is about 90% or more of why we should be prepared, of things that happen all the time that are just natural, that are going to happen anyways. Western rumblings, California and Nevada experienced more than 1,000 earthquakes in a single week. Last week, Los Angeles Times reported that 2 sets of earthquake swarms hit California. It turns out that these swarms, together with some in nearby Nevada, produced an astounding 1,000 earthquakes between the 2 states in just one single week. And here this person says, to me, whenever that number goes about 1,000, we are officially in the danger zone. Hopefully there will not be a very large earthquake in California anytime soon. But when there is this much shaking going on, we should be on alert. So if you live in California, if you live in places that are prone to earthquakes, then you already know what to do. And if you don't, you need to find out in a hurry. But we're all in the same boat because things can happen to anyone, anywhere you are. That's why I say be prepared and stay prepared. Remember this, that they do not care about you. They do not care about your children, ladies and gentlemen. They will make up some kind of a boogeyman to get their agenda passed, no matter how many lives it costs. Just take a look at history. The UK is bringing back mandatory military service as Europe prepares for war with the big R. But why? Why are they preparing for war with the big R, ladies and gentlemen? Can anyone tell me exactly why? I really would like to know. The world has accumulated $315 trillion in debt, and global events will soon bring it crashing down. The last thing that we'll talk about is that you need to protect yourselves. I'm not going to talk about how you should protect yourselves, except for one thing. If you are prepared to the best of your ability, meaning having the basic things that you need in order to sustain your standard of living. And what do I mean by that? For those of you that may be new here, excuse me. Do you bathe with soap? Maybe you want to have some soap, some extra soap set aside. Do you have work boots? Maybe you may want to buy an extra 1 or 2 pair if you find them on sale. Do you like to eat on a regular basis? Well, then maybe you ought to have some food put aside and have a deep larder, I guess you would call it, or a deep pantry. Do you like to drink water that won't poison you? Then have some water set aside in case water becomes unavailable through the ways that you're used to getting it now. But more importantly, I feel, make sure that you have a good quality water filtration system. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the links that I provide in the description of my videos. They are links of things that I've either reviewed and that I really like, and I stand behind the companies behind them because they're good people. All right, so take a look at them, and they usually come with a pretty nice discount coupon, and it's good quality stuff. Anyways, are you prepared? If you have more than what you need in order to be prepared for as long as you think you need to be prepared, 6 months, a year, whatever it may be, then take what I call excess wealth, right? Wealth that you would instead leave in the bank. I'm not a financial advisor. I have to say that because I'm on the internet. Take that excess wealth and maybe turn it into a little bit of precious metals because they've been known to preserve your purchasing power over time. Then, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your life. And what happens, happens. And hopefully all of those preps that you have, except for the food, because you should be rotating the food, but all of those other cool preps that you have, you can leave to your kids. All of those, silver quarters and dimes and junk silver, constitutional silver, rounds, or whatever it is that you have, you'll never, ever need them, and you can leave them to your kids. But you will have that insurance. And you will have that weight off your shoulder, knowing that if something happens, you'll be able to take care of your family. Having said that, I've probably made this video 1,000 hours long. If you're still here, you are awesome. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much to Aura for sponsoring this video. Ladies and gentlemen, in the days that we live in, especially with artificial intelligence, you need to protect your online identity. Aura offers you a 14-day trial, 100% free. And the funny thing is that after that 14 days, if you don't want to continue, it's extremely easy to just discontinue. But that first 14 days, they're probably going to find a lot of stuff on the internet, on the dark web, whatever, that you can fix before you decide to continue or discontinue. Other than that, have a great day. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.